All right. Sorry about that, folks. Back up live and in person, I think. All right. Headed to the bottom of the second inning. 2-1 the score between Rock Hill and Florence. Pitch from Roman Edwards. Swung on and a tapper, third base side, but it just goes foul. Just goes foul. Catch everybody up. Sorry about that. I got kicked off the air again. This facility has been just a matrix on my equipment. I have no idea why, but it's actually got me to the point where I'm thinking about just leaving YouTube altogether and maybe moving to a different platform because I've tried every other piece of equipment that I have, and the only difference is the software. So, nonetheless, I think we are back up and on the air. So, my apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for that. Pitch from Roman Edwards, front door breaking ball called a strike. Nasty pitch from Roman. What happened was a double by Gibson, back-to-back strikeouts, Kamari Moore with a 2-out RBI single, a walk to Jack Peeler, then Jaden Surratt struck out to end the inning. The pitch, front door breaking ball, just missed. And it's a ball and 2 strikes to the leadoff man here for Florence in the bottom of the second inning, which is catcher Noah Moore. It'll be Noah, Josh Williams, Jamarcus Williams, 7, 8, and 9 for Florence. The pitch from Edwards, swung on and sprayed foul right side. Your line score, Rock Hill 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. For Florence, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. The defending state champion, Rock Hill, versus the 2021 state champion, Florence. The 1-2, swung on a tapper to the second baseman. Got to charge it, kind of takes a wicked hop. Underhand toss to first for the play. Nice adjustment by Riley Stout. What a defensive guy he is. Holy smokes. Normally at first, but right there, just a slow roller had to charge it. It took a wicked hop on the dirt. He picked it up with his left hand and just kind of shot putted it over to Peeler at first. Mr. Stout made that look a whole lot easier than it really is. Good play. 1 up and 1 down for Florence for Josh Williams. Pitch from Roman Edwards, fastball high and outside. That last pitch for Roman, by my count, is number 28. 16 strikes. The pitch, front door changeup, right there for a strike. And you see the maybe it's hard to tell on the screen. I do, and I apologize for that. But the changeup for Roman Edwards, it almost looks like a traditional changeup. The 1-1 swung on and a one hopper right to the first baseman Peeler. He will win the race to the bag. 2 up and 2 down. And when Roman is going well, that's what he induces. Ground ball after ground ball, or he'll just strike you out. 2 up and 2 down for the 9-hole hitter, Jamarcus Williams. But where I'm going with the changeup is for Mr. Edwards, it looks more like a traditional changeup. He gives that fastball look and then just kind of dives about 5 or 6 inches. For Aiden Palmer, it's almost like a 2-seam fastball or a sinker. But both very, very effective. Very effective pitches. Edwards kicks and fires the pitch that has Jamarcus backing off the plate a little bit. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Florence with the lead is 2-1. Pitch from Roman. Slider off the outside corner. 2 balls and no strikes. Nobody on, 2 outs. Rock Hill trying to defend their state championship, and the 2021 champions Florence won it back. Somebody will be crowned king today. Who will it be? The 2-0 swung on and missed. And there's the changeup in a fastball count. 2 balls and 1 strike to Jamarcus Williams. Be careful with Jamarcus. He's got some pop. Pitch, fastball outside corner at the knees. 2-2. Jamarcus with a 441 batting average, 875 OPS. Pitch from Roman Edwards, swung on and tomahawked in the deep center field, coming in, now going back, still back, and Parks again will squeeze it. And ABC 1-2-3 goes Florence in the bottom half of the second inning. We head to the third inning. Your score remains Florence 2 and Rock Hill 1. You're watching the 2023 South Carolina American Legion Senior Baseball Championship game between Rock Hill Post 34 and Florence Post 1. Back in a bit on the We Are Broadcasting Network. And I don't know about you fine, lovely folks, but if Johnny Cash fan, howie howdy, are you just excited about the song in the background? That emanates from the speakers here at Francis Marion, which is another thing about this ballpark. The speaker system is phenomenal. So we head to the third inning. Florence 2, Rock Hill 1 is the score. Leading it off here for Rock Hill Post 34 in the third inning. It's going to be at the top of the order. We'll start with Cooper Parks. Try to check a swing. They appeal, and the umpire says he went around. On a first pitch breaking ball that was over the heart of the plate, in the dirt. Palmer kicks and fires. Front four fastball called a strike. And Cooper's not a fan of that call. The pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. And that'll be strikeout number 5 for Aiden Palmer. One in the first, three in the second, one here in the third. So one up and one down for Ethan Wilson, who popped out to first, back in the first. Pitch from Aiden Palmer. Tried to bring the breaking ball around the outside corner and missed. Riley Stout stands on deck for Rock Hill. The 1-0 swung on and missed. Pulled the string on Mr. Wilson and had him out in front on a blistering hot day. Pitch from Palmer off the inside corner, 2 balls and a strike. And not to be repetitive, but there is weather in the area. There is rain expected somewhere around 3 o'clock. Pitch from Palmer, fastball just off the outside corner. Good eye by Wilson. Palmer wanted that one, so did Noah Moore, but to no avail. Second walk issued by Aiden Palmer. A 1-out base runner, so the tying run aboard here for Rock Hill. For Riley Stout, who's 0 for 1, he flew out to left field to end the top of the first. We're in the top of the third. 2-1 is the score. Runner at first and 1 down. 45 pitches for Aiden Palmer, 26 strikes. And that pitch on the outside corner called a strike. And Riley asking if that's the outside of the zone, I'm sure. As a dragonfly went flying past my face, the pitch inside corner. Wow. And Aiden wants to know where that one is. Good eye by Riley. And it's not just Riley Stout. It's been a lot of batters for a bunch of teams, man. These kids know the strike zone so well. It's amazing. The 1-1 swung on and missed. Challenged him with the old number 1. And Mr. Stout was a tick tardy. One ball and 2 strikes to Riley Stout. The pitch from Palmer. Front door breaking ball. I'm going to guess it stayed high. Riley Stout out of York High School, the Cougars. He now swings the War Club for Newberry College. The 2-2 swung on and foul back to the screen. And Riley just spoiled a good pitcher's pitch right there. Wasn't quite a strike, but close enough. And you can literally see Riley choke up on the bat about 2 inches. The runner at first is Ethan Wilson. Pitch to Riley. Breaking ball. There's the slider, actually, but just off the outside corner. The Florence fans wearing the Cardinal shirts down to my right, whispering sweet nothings to the gentleman behind home plate wearing the Columbia blue shirt. Payoff pitch due here. Swung on and tomahawked in the left center field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Hitting the bag and dropping anchor at second is Ethan Wilson. So after the walk, now a base hit for Mr. Stout. And Rock Hill got something cooking here in the third. First and second and only 1 down for Jeremy McCoy's crew. And that'll bring up the really dangerous Michael Gibson. So if you're Rock Hill, and there you go, I was just about to say, if you're Rock Hill, you're 1 pitch away from either tying it or taking the lead. And if you're Florence, you want to stop the momentum. And here comes the pitching coach for Florence Post 1, Mr. Fedowa, who was just announced, I think it was a couple weeks ago, maybe as much of a month ago, but he's the new head coach of Lamar. So congratulations to Coach Fedowa. And he wants to talk to his entire infield, but he is staring a hole through Aiden Palmer. And I got a chance to talk to Coach Fedowa at the North Carolina-South Carolina Challenge. He's a fiery dude, but he's funny. He keeps these kids a little bit loose. Now, it's go time. He's all business, but he'll have a crack or two for them. Florence wearing the black jerseys with the black hat. Rock Hill wearing the navy blue tops. Rock Hill can come in the navy blue tops. They've got a full Columbia blue uniform they wore last night. They also have the red tops that they wore night before last. But I'm happy with all of these, and I'll tell you why. That pitch, there is the breaking ball on the outside corner for strike 1. Every jersey combination that Florence and Rock Hill has, I like them. Why? Because you can see the numbers really clearly, even from 300 feet away. And my 48-year-old eyes say thank you very much. The 0-1 breaking ball, outside corner, called a strike. I don't think Michael was a fan of that call, but it's 0-2. And that's Palmer's game. He will nip at the corners, and then blow the fastball by you. The pitch fouled off. And the catcher, Noah Moore, is upset with himself. He thought he should have held on to that one for strike 3, but not able to. And again, apologies for going off the air. I have no idea what the matrix is in this place, but it has messed with my equipment all weekend long. I have no idea. The 0-2, fastball high. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Michael Gibson. Hit a double to lead off the second, came around to score the only run so far for Rock Hill, but Rock Hill has first and second and only 1 out. Pitch from Palmer, swung on and hit high in the air, deep center field, coming over is Williams into the gap, He'll look up into the Florence sky, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. So now if Rock Hill is going to tie the game, going to have to do it with 2 outs. And here comes Josh Jackson, the shortstop. He was the young man who had the walk-off base hit last night for Rock Hill as they walked it off 6-5 over Camden in 8 innings. What a game that was. Holy smokes, what a game it was. Camden jumped out 2-0. Rock Hill tied it. Rock Hill took the lead. Went up 5-2, top of the 7th. Camden tied it at 5. Rock Hill walks it off in the 8th. The pitch swung on and missed. There's what they call a daddy hack from Mr. Jackson. Swinging for the downs, as they say. Palmer comes to the belt. The 0-1 swung on and popped up a mile high, but it'll reach the seats over our head and to the right. I was waiting for the bang of it to hit the roof of this facility, but it must have landed onto the concrete slab behind us. Of this sprawling facility that, folks, you wouldn't believe how pretty this place is. It's amazing. The 0-2, runners take off. The pitch is swung on, popped up on the infield. Who wants it? Coming into foul territory for Florence and making the catch is Zach Hunt, and that will retire the side. Rock Hill threatens, but can't push a run across. On a hit, no errors, and 2 left on. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Florence 2 and Rock Hill 1. You're watching and listening to the 2023 South Carolina American Legion Senior Baseball Championship game between Rock Hill and Florence. Back in a moment on the We Are Fort Moore Broadcasting Network. The gentleman to my left, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Michael Reeve Snyder. I would call him a friend. I'm not sure that would be reciprocated, however, but has done an outstanding job and has really been helpful to me, and I'm very appreciative of that. Was a part of Lexington Post 7, now Chapin Newberry, back in his hometown of Newberry, South Carolina. So we head to the bottom of the 3rd, you crazy kids. 2-1 the score. Roman Edwards back out on the bump for Rock Hill. Mr. Edwards' stats so far: 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, no walks, 1 K. And that first pitch was pitch number 36. And it was a breaking ball low and outside to Colin Minshew. Pitch swung on and nailed into center field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting there from Colin Minshew. And now if you're Rock Hill, keep a sharp eye on Colin, because he'll steal a base, he'll steal your lunch money, and then he'll walk by you and do it again. Watch him. Edwards out of the stretch. The pitch swung on and nailed. Deep left center field. Can somebody get to it? Yes. The left fielder glides in, and Ethan Wilson will squeeze it for out number 1. But that ball was rocked. Minshew stays at first, 1 down. For the 3-hole hitter, Nick Foster, third baseman for Florence. Near a 400 batting average, over 20 RBIs, 5 home runs for Nick Foster. There's some teams in American Legion that don't have 5 home runs as a team. The pitch swung on to hit a mile high, left field. Wilson gliding in, waits for that ball to kiss off the moon and bring rain on the way down for out number 2. That ball went above the lights. And I just said could bring rain, and Michael Reesnyder just kind of did one of those. Mother Nature needs to cut us some slack, please, and thank you. Want to say hello to a buddy of mine, Coach Jim Stegall. You crazy kid. Coach Jim has been a fan of mine almost from day one, and very appreciative of that. Thank you, Mr. Jim, for that. You're a scholar and a gentleman. Pitch. Colin takes off for second. The pitch is a breaking ball that gets away from Jaden Surratt. Give Colin Minshew another stolen base. So a runner in scoring position for Florence, but 2 down. It's 2-1 to score. And the batter, by the way, is designated hitter Shamar Symes. Boy, did he put on a show during the North Carolina-South Carolina Challenge. And Roman's going to step off of the rubber. Takes a deep breath. Now he'll regroup. I think he wanted to make sure he was on the same page with Jaden Surratt, his catcher. The 1-0 in the dirt. Nice stop by Jaden. Surratt closed the 5-hole and wore that one right off the chest protector. Roman brings the 2-0 to Symes. Swung on and fouled off right at home plate. And the home plate umpire was going to give Jaden a fresh baseball, but decides to put it back in the old bag. 2 balls and a strike to Shamar Symes. 2-1 is our score. Florence with the slimmest of leads. Pitch from Roman Edwards. Here it comes. Slider all the way to the backstop. Heading to third and making a huge turn is Colin Minshew. Wow. You don't see guys take that big of a turn, and I think Coach Urquhart's trying to talk to him right now, like, whoa, easy there, son. He came around third base. He was a good 20 feet down the third base line when all of a sudden he threw up the parachute. So now 3 balls and a strike to Symes. And now if you're Rock Hill, did you just walk him? Roman back to the windup. Pitch. Slider off the outside corner, ball 4. And it kind of looked like a, what's the old term you'll hear broadcasters use, the intentional, unintentional pass. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So runners at the corners, but 2 down. And that'll bring up Zach Hunt. And by the way, folks, that's the first walk issued by Roman Edwards. He's done a great job of being in and around the strike zone all day long. Pitch swung on and roped in the center field, base hit. Minshew will score, and Florence increases their lead. It's 3-1. Ambushed a first pitch fastball and just roped it into center field. So now our runners at first and second for Florence, still 2 down for Zach Hunt. And I look down at the Rock Hill dugout to see but nothing a stirring. Coach McCoy going to keep going with Mr. Edwards here. The pitch swung on and missed. Roman staring the hole through Surratt, trying to get on the same page. Here, the 0-1. Here it comes. Swung on and roped. Josh Jackson rips it out of the air. What a defensive gem by Josh Jackson, and another defensive gem in this tournament. Folks, these young men are putting on quite the show. But for Florence, they score a run. They do it on the back of 2 base hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We head to the 4th inning. Florence 3 and Rock Hill 1. Back in a moment on the We Are Fort Moore Broadcasting Network. Welcome back, everybody, to beautiful Cornell Field, Sparrow Stadium, Florence, South Carolina. The 2023 championship game between the last 2 state champions, Rock Hill and Florence. And the leadoff man here in the top of the 4th for Jeremy McCoy's crew from Rock Hill is Landon Sexton, and he looks at a first pitch breaking ball from Aiden Palmer for ball 1. That pitch is a fastball, swung on up out back to the screen, and quickly 1-1 to Landon Sexton, a graduate of York Comprehensive High School, home of the Cougars. Now plays for Spartanburg Methodist, one of many baseball programs that are in good standing in the state of South Carolina. That pitch is swung on and hit a mile-high foul territory, first base side, over near the wall, and making the catch for Florence is Zach Hunt. 1 up and 1 down for Kamari Moore. Kamari put Rock Hill on the board back in the 2nd with a 2-out RBI single that scored Michael Gibson. Pitch to Kamari, fastball right down Tom Hall Street for strike 1. Pitch, check to swing, doesn't matter. Pitch kissed the inside corner, quickly 0-2 to Kamari Moore, who is just as fast as he is strong. This is a stocky young man with a lot of pop. The 0-2, fastball high and outside. Okay, something just went bang. I'm looking at my equipment. Nothing is missing. The 1-2, swung on and missed. Pulled the string on Kamari, had him out in front. That is the 6th strikeout of the day for Aiden Palmer. 2 up and 2 down for Jack Peeler. Mr. Peeler was the designated hitter last night. He's playing first base today for Rock Hill. That pitch is fouled out of play left side for strike 1. With that move, Riley Stout moves from first to second. The 0-1 from Aiden. Slider off the outside corner. The fans from Florence wanted that one called a strike, but that one was off the corner. Good call by the umpire. Pitch. Check the swing. They'll ask for the appeal. But no swing. 2 balls and a strike to Jack Peeler. Nobody on, 2 outs. 3-1 Florence is the score. The pitch from Aiden Palmer. Swung on and missed. 2-2. That last pitch from Aiden Palmer was number 75. The pitch high and inside. Oh, boy. And Zach had to take evasive measures to get out of the way of that screamer. Goodness gracious. 3 balls and 2 strikes. A little sweet chin music there. Goodness. Pitch from Palmer. Swung on and missed. High fastball. Mows him down. Strikeout number 7 for Aiden Palmer. Have a day, kid. That retires the side, and Rock Hill goes in order. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning, everybody. Florence 3 and Rock Hill 1. Back after a short break on the We Are Football Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, everybody, to Sparrow Stadium. The gentleman to my left is a journalist from the Florence Morning News. I've already run off 2 journalists in the last 2 days. Can I make it 3 for 3? Or is this gentleman in it for the long haul? Only time will tell. I do have that effect on people. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. 3-1 is the score. Roman Edwards still on the bump for Rock Hill. 3 innings pitched so far for Roman. 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And the first pitch to the leadoff man here for Florence. Noah Moore, the catcher, is fouled out of play. Pitch swung on and missed. There's a little Linda Ronstadt for strike 2. That one had some heat on it. The thing with Roman Edwards, that 4-seam fastball, it's got some late movement on top of it. The 0-2 swung on and fouled off. Had him fooled. Had Noah out on his front foot, but Noah able to spoil a good pitcher's pitch there. Mr. Dixon, appreciate that very much, sir. Going to have to do a better job of posting the score between innings. I've fallen down on the job. Another 0-2. Swung on and a tapper right up the middle. Charged by Josh Jackson. Gloved it, but he couldn't glove it. He reached down to glove it. I think it hit the very end of his glove and just popped out. And the leadoff man aboard here for Florence. So Noah Moore will run at first base, and that'll bring it the 8-hole hitter. Got to say that real carefully. You don't want to say the wrong thing on the air. The 8-hole hitter, right fielder Josh Williams. I might get kicked off the air for FCC violations. Throw over to first base. I don't think Noah Moore is going anywhere. I wouldn't imagine. So in this situation, you're up by 2 in the bottom of the 4th. Not yet, anyway. The pitch going to square around a bunt and bunts at third base side. What a brilliant defensive play by Michael Gibson. He had no play. He watched it go foul, kind of went to the side a little bit and stared at the baseball. It almost went back fair. Now, here's the ruling on that. If the ball goes foul and you don't touch it and it goes back fair and then you touch it, it's a fair ball. But in that case, Michael waited and waited and waited and then touched it. It was a foul ball. That's heads up baseball because he had no play. Williams will square around again. The pitch from Roman Edwards, bunted foul. Thank you, George, for that. Ray Rogers chiming in as well. Thank y'all. Checks in the mail, boys. When I get paid, so will you. 1-3-0 for Rock Hill. 3-5-0 for Florence. On a pretty doggone hot day here in the PD region of South Carolina. A little toasty. Pitch from Roman Edwards. Front door breaking ball. Got away from Jaden Surratt a little bit, but not far enough away for anybody to advance. Good job by Jaden. Sportsmanship there between Josh Williams, who picked up the cage and handed it back to Jaden Surratt. You always like to see that. In a game of emotion and young players doing the right thing. The 1-2 from Roman Edwards. Swung on and rode through the whole right side base hit. Noah's going to hit the bag at second. He's going to truck on into third. And the runners are at the corners for Florence Post 1 as they start to turn the screw on Rock Hill. That ball was roped. By the way, the play to Mr. Jackson, they're going to call that an E6. Not sure I agree 100%, but they're going to call it an E6. And now a visit to the mound by the head coach of Rock Hill, Mr. Jeremy McCoy. And this is this kind of walk where it looks like he's going to bring the old hook with him. And that's exactly what he'll do. Roman will get some high fives from his teammates and a round of applause from the Rock Hill fans who have made the trip here. Roman will get hugs, everybody out there to pick him up. Roman Edwards did his job, in my humble opinion. His job was to get into the middle innings with his team in the game, and that's what the situation is. 3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Finished with 55 pitches and 35 strikes. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot of pitches, but remember he pitched last night. So this is his second appearance in basically 18 hours. So, and again, pretty warm. Doesn't take long to get dehydrated. So we have a new pitcher on the mound for Rock Hill Post 34. I think it's Tyler Champagne. And that it is. So from one Legion collegiate athlete to another, Roman Edwards will hand the ball to Tyler Champagne. So runners at the corners for Florence. The next batter, the first one Tyler will face, is Jamarcus Williams. And Ray says he's from Inman Post 45. Jason and I covered that really well. And I was really, really happy that he made the trip here and we were able to do a game together. We've been on the air before. It had been a couple years. But I'm a big fan of Justin Mathis, James McBee. It's funny, the friends and acquaintances you make as you travel around this beautiful state of ours and meet folks who cover prep sports. And quite frankly, I just wish more people covered it because it's entertaining as heck. I mean, these young men work their rear ends off. These coaches work their fingers to the bone. And in just this humble man's opinion, these young men should be put on stage at every opportunity. So every journalist, everybody who broadcasts, who writes articles, who covers anything. The gentleman to my left, newsman right here in Florence. Thank you for all your hard work. A lot of late nights, a lot of deadlines. Tyler Champagne is basically a Swiss Army knife. He can do it all. I've seen this young man do everything but catch. And he probably could do that too if you asked him. So Tyler's job here is to keep the damage to a minimum. First and third for Florence, nobody out. Now, I will say this. We have seen twice this tournament, bases loaded with nobody out and nobody scored. Yes, it can happen. It's against the percentages, yes, but we've seen it twice already. Can Florence pad their lead or can Rock Hill pull a Houdini? Runner takes off for second. No, he doesn't. He threw on the brakes, and Jamarcus Williams was swinging for the downs. No balls and a strike to Jamarcus, who's 0 for 1 today. Pitch from Tyler. Tried to check his swing on a fastball, and he could not. Home plate umpire says he's got it and rings him up for strike 2. Rock Hill's defense, you look at it, they're playing kind of halfway. What do you come with here if you're Tyler Champagne on a 0-2 count? Pitch. Swung on and missed, but it pops out of the glove of Surratt, and first base was occupied. That'll go as a strikeout. Massive out for Tyler Champagne. But when the ball popped out of the catcher, Jaden Surratt, moving up 90 feet was Josh Williams, which you are allowed to do. Now, the question will that be technically a score? Will it be scored a pass ball or a wild pitch to account for the 90 feet? But a big first out for Tyler Champagne and Rock Hill. So now second and third, one down, back to the top of the order, and Colin Minshew, who's 1 for 2 with a run scored. Pitch from Tyler, fastball, outside corner at the knees. They're going to call that a passed ball to account for Josh Williams moving to second. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the I'm just passing it along. I don't make the calls. I just tell you about them. Pitch outside the zone for a ball. Somebody yesterday ripped me sideways. How can you call that a pass ball? I'm like, well, I'm not the one who called it that. I'm just telling you what they said. One ball and one strike to Colin Minshew. Pitch from Champagne, swung on and missed. Oh, a hefty cut, and Tyler tied him up. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Colin Minshew. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. 3-1 is the score, but Florence is threatening. Second and third and only 1 out. And now Rock Hill almost in a 0 defense here. They are definitely in it now. The 1-2 swung on and whistled foul over to our right. And that'll keep the count at a ball and 2 strikes. The championship game between the last 2 state champions in this beautiful state. The 2022 state champions from Rock Hill, the 2021 state champions from Florence. Pitch from Tyler Champagne. Swung on and hit high in the air, right center field. Coming over is Kamari Moore. He'll make the catch. Here's the throw in. It's going to sail at the first base line. Tagging up and scoring from third will be Noah Moore. And moving up 90 feet will be Williams. Give a sacrifice fly to Colin Minshew, and it's 4-1. ABC baseball from Derek Urquhart's crew. So now our runner at third for Florence, 2 down for Jackson Moore. Jackson is 1 for 2 today. Or beg your pardon, take that back. He's 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the first and scored the first run of the day for Florence. Florence scored twice in the bottom of the first, added a run in the third, one more here in the fourth. It's 4-1. Pitch from Tyler Champagne, fisted back to the screen, foul. The right-handed Tyler Champagne, the left-handed Jackson Moore. Pitch, swung on and missed. Challenged him with a fastball, and Mr. Moore was a wee bit late. Tyler to the belt, comes set. And now he's just going to step off the rubber. I think he wanted to think about this next pitch here because could be a big pitch. The 1-2 swung on and a ground ball, first base, but at the last second just went foul. And that's a break for Florence because Jack Peeler was all over that baseball. He had easily stepped on the pillow to retire the side. Still 1-2 the count to Jackson Moore. Champagne to the belt. And the pitch. Fastball high all the way to the backstop. Here comes the base runner. He is safe. That'll go as a wild pitch, and it's 5-1. Not sure if Jaden Surratt and Tyler Champagne were necessarily on the same page there because that fastball was high, and it looked like Jaden had kind of sunk down a little bit, maybe to protect for a breaking ball, but that'll go as a wild pitch. And scoring is Josh Williams. Pitch swung on a foul back to the screen left side. It'll stay 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now the hole for Rock Hill has gotten a little bit deeper, but I will just politely remind folks, again, both of these offenses are high octane. It does not take much to get them fired up. Pitch from Tyler, swung on and missed. Challenged him with a fastball and tied Jackson Moore up. And that will retire the side. But Florence with some damage. They scored twice. They do it on 1 base hit. There was an error and nobody left on. After 4 complete, the score, Florence 5 and Rock Hill 1. Back in a moment on the We Are Fort Moore Broadcasting Network. We head to the fifth inning. 5-1 is the score. Back out on the mound for Florence is the starter, Aiden Palmer. Pitch outside corner at the knees for a strike to the leadoff man here for Rock Hill in the top of the fifth inning, which is the catcher, Jaden Surratt. The pitch, back foot breaking ball for strike two. Palmer working quickly, swung on it, missed. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. 3 straight strikeouts for Aiden Palmer. And that is 5, 6, 7. That is the 8th strikeout for Aiden. Have a day, kid. Back to the top of the order we go. And Cooper Parks, who is 0 for 2 today. First pitch from Palmer. Back foot breaking ball. Cooper pulls that back foot away. We're up to 92 degrees here in beautiful Florence, South Carolina. The PD region, the pitch, hammered foul. 1-1 the count to Cooper Parks. Top of the fifth, so if you want to think about the math, Rock Hill 8 outs to play with. That fastball high, but we've seen teams push extras, so you never know. And don't expect Rock Hill to go away without a fight. That's just not how they're built. That pitch is swung on and roped into left field, but coming in about 5 or 6 steps and making the grab is Brody Cook. It's an out, but that ball was a scalded dog. 2 up and 2 down for Ethan Wilson. Mr. Wilson is 0 for 1 today, a pop out and a walk. And Trey Allison has asked me, curious to hear my thoughts on Palmer. I'm not trying to be a smart aleck at all, but what do you mean my thoughts? Do you want the scouting report on Aiden or my personal opinion on Aiden? Because I can wax poetic about this kid for about the next 30 minutes if you want. I can do that with a bunch of these kids on both of these teams. That pitch is swung on and missed, 1-1. I'm staying with my mom's friend, or my mom's friend, good Lord, my best friend's mom, and she could not believe I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning, the first day I got here, doing research, page after page after page of handwritten notes on player after player after player. 2 balls and a strike to Ethan Wilson. Palmer kicks and fires, swung on and missed. It's 2-2. My opinion on Palmer is he's got really great stuff. He's got 5 pitches that he can throw for a strike. He changes speeds very well. I do have 2 quote-unquote criticisms as a coach, if you will. That pitch swung on and popped up a mile high. Third base side into foul territory, still coming in as Foster, and he'll squeeze it for out number 3. I'm also an assistant coach at Fort Mill High School, so a lot of times, and you've never heard a baseball coach go, "Oh yeah, they're perfect." No, that's just not how baseball coaches are wired. But the thing about Palmer, sometimes I think he tries to be a little too, air quotes, cute with his pitches. He tries to kind of backdoor people and front door them instead of just going, "Here's my best, knock yourself out." Just throw it, throw strikes. And where I'm going with that is sometimes he throws too many pitches. He doesn't need to do that. His stuff is dynamite. Throw it in the strike zone. Be around the zone all day long. He's going to get his strikeouts. That's just going to happen. He does a great job with his walk to strikeout ratio. Again, his stuff is dynamite, but don't try to strike everybody else. Pitch to contact. Let the other team hit the ball. Trust the guys behind you. Your defense is out there for a reason. That's my book on Aiden Palmer. Is he a next level guy? You doggone right he is. So that's my 2 cents on Aiden Palmer. Just one humble man's opinion. I've seen him pitch. Oh, gosh, this is the. Whew. He pitched against Fort Mill in 2021. I saw him pitch last year, and this is my third time this year seeing him pitch. A lot of fun. He's a lot of fun to watch. So we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Tyler Champagne still on the bump for Rock Hill. The line score after 4.5, 1-3-0 for Rock Hill, 5-6-0 for Florence. Nick Foster going to lead it off. Going to be 3, 4, and 5 against Mr. Champagne. And Florence half of the 5th. Pitch. Swung on a foul. Back to the screen. Nick Foster 1 for 2 today with a stolen base and a run scored. The 0-1 from Tyler. Breaking ball stayed high. And now some clouds are messing with the sun. I'm keeping an eye on the skies because there's some nastiness headed our way. That pitch swung on and hammered into center field, but shallow. Josh Jackson will venture out onto the grass. He'll battle the sun and make the catch for out number 1. And that'll bring up Shamar Symes, who has walked today and struck out. And one thing about Shamar, he doesn't strike out a lot. Having said that, he was 0 for 3 against Rock Hill 2 nights ago. All 3 strikeouts, and he struck out earlier today. That's not like Symes at all. The pitch shakes his head on that one on a breaking ball off the outside corner as the ball trickles in the center field. Jaden Surratt airmailed his pitcher there. You got to give your pitcher a chance there, Bo. He is a super kid, I'll say that. The stories I could tell about both these Rock Hill youngsters and these Florence youngsters, these are some great kids. Great kids. The 1-0 breaking ball comes inside, but misses. 2 balls and no strikes. In fact, remember Florence earlier this year, the 2 games I saw him. And then I've seen Rock Hill. Good Lord, the number of times I've seen Rock Hill. The pitch. There's a nice pitch at the bottom of the zone on the outside corner for a strike. It's 2-1. I've seen Rock Hill play. This is the 7th time this year. Just this year. The 2-1. High and inside. No, I take that back. This is the 8th time I've seen Rock Hill. 3 games in the challenge, 4 games in the series. So this is actually the 9th time I've seen them this year. That's a great question. I hadn't thought about it till just now. The 3-1 swung on and a little looper out in the right field coming on Kamari Moore, and he'll make that catch easily. Kamari has all kinds of speed. 2 up and 2 down for Zach Hunt. I'll put it to you this way. I've seen Rock Hill enough times, I don't even have to look at my book. I know who the players are without even looking at their number. Just looking at the way they walk in their structure, I can tell you who it is. Zach is 2 for 2 today. And he spits on that one for ball 1. Singled in the first. That scored the first 2 runs for Florence. He singled again in the third, and that scored Colin Minshew. And we have some Ric Flair impersonators down the first base line. The 1-0. Outside corner at the bottom of the knees. 1-1 the count. In the bottom of inning number 5. Florence 5, Rock Hill 1. Pitch from Tyler Champagne. Swung on and missed. challenged him with a fastball on the outside corner. And Zach Hunt was trying to, you see that Leland Cypress way out there beyond the scoreboard? That's where he was trying to hit it. Pitch from Champaign. Slider off the outside corner. They asked for an appeal on the swing. No swing, says the umpire at first. Appreciate y'all tuning in today, wherever you may be across the fruited plains. Thank you for your support of South Carolina American Legion baseball. These wonderful players and coaches, your support means the world to all of us. Couldn't do it without you. That's for sure. 2-2, fastball high. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Zach Hunt. Nobody on, 2 down. Rock Hill trying to go back-to-back. The 2021 champions in Florence, they want their trophy back, so to speak. 3-2, swung on and hit high in the air. Down the right field line, coming over Kamari Moore. He's at the fence, and he simply runs out of real estate. There's a picnic area down there by the batting cages in the bullpen, first base side, and I think there's more people underneath that gazebo, if you will, than there is in the stands. They're in there. They're like sardines under that bad boy. Real estate, folks. Location, location, location. Precious shade is the commodity today. Another full count pitch from Champaign off the outside corner, ball 4. A 2-out walk to Zach Hunt as Florence looks to tack on here. I believe that's the first walk issued by Tyler. Fairly certain. As my buddy Tyler Cupp likes to say, Tyler is a really strong American first name. Tyler Cupp says that all the time on the air when I want to broadcast with him. My buddy Tyler Cupp, WRHI in Rock Hill, the OTS Sports Network. Great group of guys and folks. The pitch swung on and missed. Batter is left fielder Brody Cook. Now, he flew out to left field, and Ethan Wilson robbed him of a hit. And now the umpire in the middle of the diamond has looked at the Rock Hill dugout, and you could literally hear him say, "That's enough." And the Rock Hill dugout is actually looking out up into the stand, so I think the umpire might have been addressing a fan or two. Anyway, the 0-1 from Champaign. Swung on and hit. Deep left field. Wilson going back. Will the ballpark hold it? No, sir, it's gone. A 2-run ding-dong for Brody Cook, and it's 7-1. That was a pitch right down Tom Hall Street, and Brody Cook said bang. That one landed past the light pole and rolled into the Leland Cypress. A no-doubter. And Florence has turned the screw. It's 7-1. And that brought this crowd to its feet. Next batter for Florence will be Noah Moore. Pitch swung on and fouled off to the screen. Pitch in the dirt. 1-1 the count to Noah Moore, who's 0 for 2 today, but with a run scored. He reached on a controversial E6 that is a source of debate here in the press box of Sparrow Stadium. A source of consternation, if you will. That ball fouled off back to the screen. 1-2. Champagne wiggles the glove a little bit. You'll see a lot of pitchers today do that, trying to hide the pitch. So you can't get a good read on what they're coming with their grip. That pitch high and outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Noah Moore. The 2-2 from Tyler. Breaking ball in the dirt. Takes a bite out of Jaden Surratt on its way by. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Noah Moore. And the crowd still buzzing from that home run from Brody Cook. That is the second or third long ball we've seen. That pitch swung on a miss, tied him up inside. That'll take care of Noah Moore, and it will retire the side. But Florence with more damage. They scored twice on 1 hit. No errors, none left on base. We head to the 6th inning. Florence 7 and Rock Hill 1. Back in a moment on the We Are Fort Moore Broadcasting Network. All right, you crazy kids, we are headed to the 6th inning. Florence 7, Rock Hill 1 is the score. Aiden Palmer back out onto the bump for Derek Urquhart. And Florence post 1. Jeremy McCoy down below us to our left, walking, pacing back and forth. Don't expect Rock Hill to go away without a fight. That is not their DNA. And due up here for Rock Hill, it'll be 3, 4, and 5 in the order. Riley Stout, Michael Gibson, Josh Jackson. In case you're wondering, Mr. Palmer is up to 90 pitches. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run was earned. 2 walks, 8 Ks. Of the 90 pitches, 54 strikes. And not trying to forecast anything, but the pitch from Palmer swung on a miss. Riley Stout was trying to send that one to the flagpole and right. But if I put my Coach Urquhart hat on for a second, after Palmer, I'm betting you dollars to donuts, you're going to see Weagle. But that's just one humble man's opinion. No balls and 2 strikes to Riley Stout. Pitch from Palmer off the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Riley Stout, who's still one of only 5 kids I've ever seen hit a home run at Fort Mill High School that was between the light poles in center field. Powerful kid. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Riley. Pitch from Palmer. Breaking ball in the dirt. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Trying to see if there's any action in the Florence pen. I think there is. But there's a bunch of hedges between my line of sight and the pen. There is a ball going back and forth. I just can't see who the players are. Pitch swung on a tapper, first base side. Going to be a tough play. Palmer has it. Throw to first. Got him. Palmer had to contort his body, kind of go Gumby a little bit, and throw sidearm to first base, but they get Mr. Stout. One up and one down for Michael Gibson. Michael 1 for 2 today, a double and a run scored. Flew out to center. Checks a swing on that pitch. That misses the zone low. Pitch from Palmer at the bottom of the zone, right over the heart of the plate. 1-1 to count to Gibson. 7-1 to score as we play ball here in the top of the sixth. That pitch stays high, 2 balls and a strike. If Florence wins this game, they'll be the state champions. If Rock Hill comes back and wins this game, there'll be a second game right behind it. That'll be winner take all. Fastball high, 3 balls and a strike to Michael. And if you're Rock Hill, kind of a strategic thing here, twofold. One, try to do the best you can to make Aiden Palmer throw as many pitches as you can to try to get into that Florence bullpen. The 3-1, fastball high, ball 4. The other part of that equation is not only that, but also in order to get back in this game, you need base runners. So if they're going to give you a walk, take it. Because as the old baseball line goes, a bleep and a bloop and a bang, and you're right back in it. Bleep and a bloop and a blast. Here's Josh Jackson, who is 0 for 2. His head coach, Jeremy McCoy, could not have been prouder when I asked him about what Mr. Jackson did last night against Camden. That fastball high and inside, he just beamed from ear to ear of how proud he was that this young man walked it off. When they intentionally walked Michael Gibson to get to Josh, Josh took it personally, and he delivered for Rock Hill. Pitch, fastball outside corner, just below the belt. 1-1 the count to Josh Jackson. The 1-1 from Palmer, high and inside. I don't know how it didn't hit him. Josh literally turned his shoulder to get out of the way of that one, and I thought it was going to clip his jersey or maybe his bicep, but somehow it didn't. 2-1 the count. Pitch from Palmer. Swung on and popped up a mile high. Will it stay in play? No. 2-2 to count to Josh Jackson. A couple of youngsters running back from the Florence bullpen. Let me see if I can catch numbers here real fast before they get back to the dugout. 17 is one of them. All right. Runner takes off for second. The pitch, the throw down is not in time. Stolen base for Michael Gibson. The pitch, by the way, was a ball to Josh Jackson, so that'll make the count full. In case you're wondering, number 17 is Luke Miller for Florence. And number 13 is Landon Vick. Payoff pitch due here to Jackson. Here it comes. Fastball high and outside, ball 4. Back-to-back free passes for Aiden Palmer, and I'm betting you dollars to donuts that's going to be the day. And here comes Coach Fedowa. He gets to the on-deck circle, then stops. Now he's going to walk out there, and he calls time. And I think the Florence fans know it as well. They rise to their feet and give Aiden Palmer a huge round of applause. And rightfully so. So for Mr. Palmer, the runners at first and second are his responsibility, so you can't close the book on him. But his score line to this point Talk about doing your job. 5 1/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run was earned, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts, 106 pitches, 80 strikes. No, I beg your pardon, 106 pitches, 60 strikes. He stands at the moment to be the pitcher of record. And Coach Fidoa will hand the ball to number 3, Zane Davis, the new pitcher for Florence Post 1. Zane is from Chesterfield High School, Chesterfield, South Carolina, not too far up the road from here. Now I scurry to find Mr. Davis's pitching stats. This will be his 5th appearance, all but 1 out of the bullpen. A 1-0 record, zeros across the board, has walked 1 soul all year, 9 strikeouts. His whip is a ridiculous 0.50, and his ERA is 0. That's the stat line on Zane Davis. So his job is to come in and put out the fire. Rock Hill's job, keep the line moving. And the first batter that Zane Davis will face is Landon Sexton, who's 0 for 2 today. So the wheels continue to turn here in the championship game for the South Carolina American Legion Senior Championship. The defending champions from Rock Hill, the 2021 champions from Florence. Somebody will be crowned king today. Will it be the fellas from just up the road? Or will it be the young man down to our left from York County? First pitch from Zane Davis. Here it comes. Pitch swung on a missed. Fastball. And as soon as that was caught by Noah Moore, he jogs out to talk to Davis. I don't think that was the pitch that Noah wanted. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Runners at first and second for Rock Hill Post 34. 1 down. Florence with a 7-1 lead. And now time is called by Landon, and he actually got something in his right eye. Pitch from Zane Davis. Here it comes. Right down Tom Hall Street at the bottom of the knees, and it's 0-2 to Landon Sexton. Florence playing him pretty much straight up. Second baseman kind of playing peekaboo out there with Gibson out at second. The pitch swung on and missed. Zane Davis comes in and strikes out Sexton. That'll be out number 2. So if Rock Hill is going to score a run or two, going to have to do it with 2 outs. And here's Kamari Moore. Kamari 1 for 2 today, a single and an RBI. Pitch from Zane Davis. Swung on and fouled straight back. Zane Davis comes to the belt. The 0-1. That looked like a slider. Overcooked and off the outside corner. There is action in the Rock Hill bullpen, by the way. And it's number 0, Skylar Hooten. The 1-1. Fastball just off the outside corner. Good eye by Kamari. That's a good pitch from Zane Davis. 2 balls and 1 strike to Kamari Moore. The pitch from Davis. Fastball inside corner, right above the belt, and it's 2-2. Deuces are wild. 2 runners on, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Can Rock Hill score a run or two, or can Florence shut the door? And now time is called. I believe it was called by Kamari, but that's just a guess. Here we go with a 2-2 from Zane Davis. Here it comes, just off the outside corner with a fastball. And that'll load it up at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Are we having fun yet? Kamari Moore, in case you're wondering, yes, he's got some pop. He can send one out of here. Payoff pitch due here from Davis. Swung on and a chopper to the shortstop. He'll gun it, throw across in time, and that puts out the fire. No runs for Rock Hill. No hits, no errors, 2 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Score remains Florence 7 and Rock Hill 1. Back in a moment on the We Are Fort Worth Broadcasting Network. Bringing it back a little bit early, want to tell you about the change on the mound for Rock Hill Post 34. Coach McCoy has handed the baseball to number 0, Skylar Hooten. As I flip furiously through my stat sheet, Mr. Hooten came in and pitched the 8th inning last night for Rock Hill. 16 innings pitched, all in relief. A 2-0 record, because he did get the win last night as Rock Hill walked it off 6-5 over Camden. 20 hits, 17 earned runs, struck out 14. And his specialty is actually stranding inherited base runners. But he will get a clean inning here as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Florence looking for some insurance. Rock Hill wants to keep Florence right where they're at. Here's the throw down to second base. The first young man that Mr. Hooten will face is going to be right fielder Josh Williams. I have a hard time saying Mr. Williams because there's 2 of them. There's Josh and Jamarcus. Jamarcus stands on deck with a white D Marini. Josh is 1 for 2, a ground out and a single and a run scored. Pitch. Hacks at the first offering, high, foul. Everybody runs for the cover, and good thing because where 2 ladies were standing, they vacated the area, and thankfully they did because that's exactly where the baseball went. The 0-1 from Skylar Hooten, breaking ball, stayed high, 1-1 the count. And I was looking at my scorebook after that last half inning, and by my book, every batter for Florence has reached except for Jamarcus Williams. The pitch. That one missed. 2 balls and a strike. And by the way, the error that was charged to Josh Jackson, that scoring has been changed to a base hit. Pitch, fastball high and inside, 3 balls and a strike. And I agree with that. It would have been a spectacular play by Josh. And quite frankly, it's a play Josh would have told you he would have made. But it's still a very tough play to make. And that was a very tough error to charge. So I agree with the ruling to change that to a base hit. The 3-1 from Skyler swung on in a worm burner to the second baseman Stout. He'll glove it, throw to first, bang, bang, play, got him. 1 up and 1 down for Jamarcus Williams. I think he has his own fan club down below, Lois. They're doing the let's go, Jamarcus, let's go. Must be nice to have your own fan club. That pitch fouled straight back over our heads. I know what it's like to have a hate club, not so much a fan club. It's okay, though. My mother tries to ease the pain. She goes, well, as long as they know you're there. Love you too, Mom. The 0-1. Fastball right down Tom Hall Street, right at the belt. It's 0-2 to Jamarcus, the speedy center fielder for Florence. Pitch from Hooten. That one stayed outside the zone. 1-2 the count. Skyler kicks and fires. Breaking ball swung on, and a one-hopper to Gibson at third. He'll throw across the diamond. That's perfect. 2 up and 2 down. We go back to the top of the order, and Colin Minshew, who is 1 for 2 with a run scored, an RBI, and a stolen base. So righty on righty here. The right-handed Skyler Hooten, the right-handed Colin Minshew. The pitch from Skyler. That one high and inside with a breaking ball. Skyler Hooten, another versatile young man for Jeremy McCoy and Rock Hill Post 34. That pitch outside the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. Looked like a fastball high and outside. Skyler's going to run his hand through the dirt, wipe his brow on a really warm day. 94 degrees. It feels like it's 99. Yes, really. The 2-0 outside corner, but below the knees, and it's 3-0. The pitch, fastball nowhere near, ball 4. So after getting the first 2 quickly, Skyler Hooten walks Colin Minshew. The first walk issued by Mr. Hooten. Only the third walk issued all day long by Rock Hill pitching. They've not walked a lot of guys. And you look down at the scorebook, you have single, 2-run homer. And that pitch gets away from Jaden Surratt. It's going to trickle all the way over to the on-deck circle over beside the Florence dugout. That will more than likely go as a passed ball. But moving up to second base is Colin Minshew. And now timeout is called, and Mr. Surratt is going to go have a chat with Mr. Hooten, and that's a signs related because they didn't even get within 10 feet of each other, and Jaden did an about face. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Jackson Moore. Mr. Moore is 0 for 2 today, was hit by a pitch in the first, came around to score the first run of the game for Florence. The pitch inside, checked his swing, 2-0 the count. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. There's a runner at second, 2 down. The score is Florence 7 and Rock Hill 1. Rock Hill trying to defend their crown. Florence wants it back. The pitch right there on the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Minshew with a pretty liberal lead out there. Jackson's got him shadowed. And the pitch. Front door breaking ball missed. 3 balls and a strike to Jackson Moore. The 3-1 from Hooten as he comes set. Here it comes. Swung on and roped into left center field for a base hit. Getting the go sign around third is Minshew. He will score. An RBI single for Jackson Moore, and it's 8-1. Nice piece of hitting there. Goes the other way with a frozen rope. So give Jackson Moore an RBI. Give Colin Minshew his second run scored today. And the inning continues for Nick Foster, who's 1 for 3. A pop out, a fly out, a single, a stolen base, and a run scored. Pitch from Hooten. Swung on, and here's a little looper into right field, but coming over and making the catch for out number 3. It's not Kamari. Not sure who that is, but I want to give, I think it, hang on. There was a change defensively for Rock Hill, and I did not pick it up, and I apologize for that. It looked like it was Jack Burton who made that catch, and that will retire the side. But Florence, they pick up a run on a hit. No errors. 1 left on base. Last chance saloon for Rock Hill Post 34. We head to the 7th inning. Florence 8 and Rock Hill 1. You're watching and listening to the 2023 South Carolina American Legion Senior Baseball Championships from Sparrow Stadium in Florence, South Carolina. Back in a moment on the We Are Fort Mill Broadcasting Network. Headed to the 7th inning. Zane Davis back out on the mound for Florence. And now time is called. I think the music is still emanating from the speaker system here at Carmel Field and Sparrow Stadium. Thank you, sir. Kind of heavy, ain't it? Thank you, sir. The 1-0. Here it comes off the outside corner. Jack Peeler is the leadoff batter here for Rock Hill Post 34. It'll be Peeler, Surratt, Parks. The 2-0 outside corner at the knees. 2 balls and a strike to Jack Peeler, who's 0 for 1 today, struck out to end the 4th, walked in the 2nd. And the pitch swung on and fouled out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And really that 2nd inning, when you look at it, that was really the turning point in the game. Rock Hill had, that's also when I went off the air, which was horrible timing. The 2-2 from Davis, way outside, 3-2. Rock Hill had already scored a run. They had 2 runners on, but then Aiden Palmer struck out Mr. Surratt and put out the fire. It made it 2-1. But if you can't help but think if Rock Hill scores 1 or 2 there, might be looking at a different game. That pitch is swung on and hit right up the chute. Who wants it? The shortstop says he's got it, and Colin Minshew does for out number 1. And we're going to have a pinch hitter here for Rock Hill Post 34, and it's going to be number 8, Jay Douglas. So Mr. Douglas will come on and bat here in place of Jaden Surratt. Jay Douglas with 19 runs scored on the season, 17 walks. Boy, does he know the strikes on the pitch. Right down Tom Hall Street for strike 1. Can Rock Hill start a rally, or will Florence win another state title? The 0-1, that one, fastball right down the heart of the plate. Quickly 0-2 to Jay Douglas. Pitch just off the outside corner. The pitch from Zane Davis. This one is whistled high in the air, first base side. And giving it a look-see over there was Zach Hunt, but he will give up the chase as that one lands way foul. As the Florence fans start to meander over towards the dugout and onto the berm. The pitch swung on and missed, got him. Pulled the string on Jay, had him way out in front. And the last hope for Rock Hill is the leadoff batter, Cooper Parks. Cooper very uncharacteristically 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a lineout. But that was all against Aiden Palmer. The pitch from Zane Davis. Breaking ball right down the heart of the plate for strike 1. And the Florence fans start to feel it. Davis kicks and fires. The 0-1. Breaking ball right down Tom Hall Street. And now Rock Hill down to its final strike. And Florence is 1 strike away from state championship number 8. Here comes the 0-2. Swung on and hit right back at the box into center field for a base hit. Rock Hill stays alive. The first base hit of the day for Cooper Parks. And Rock Hill stays alive. Runner at first, 2 down for Ethan Wilson. Ethan has popped out twice and walked. Nice job there by Cooper Parks. Hit it hard and right back where it came from. Here's the pitch to Ethan, high and inside. He jumps out of the way of that one. Zane Davis brings the 1-0. Fastball high and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Two balls and no strikes to Ethan Wilson. Top of the 7th, runner at first, 2 down. Pitch from Davis. Swung on and a ground ball right to the third baseman. He'll throw to first. Ball game. And for the 8th time in their history, Florence Post 1 are the South Carolina American Legion Senior State Champions. Derek Urquhart and his coaching staff will run out onto the field, and the dog pile commences in the middle of the diamond. And Florence, Post 1, on a very warm and sunny afternoon here in Florence, South Carolina, takes their title back in a heavyweight fight between the last 2 state champions, last year's champion Rock Hill against the 2021 champions from Florence, and Post 1 are crowned king for South Carolina for 2023. Great job by head coach Derek Urquhart, his entire staff. Aiden Palmer will get the win. Zane Davis closes the door. But an outstanding season for Rock Hill Post 34. Rock Hill won their league, and they finished state runner-up. That is a lot to be proud of for everybody wearing the navy blue tops, as they will fist pump the two teams will in a show of sportsmanship, and that's a great show of sportsmanship. And you see that there, just love and admiration from each player and each coach to every single player and coach from the opposite side. But a round of applause for Rock Hill. But Florence are your 2023 South Carolina American Legion Senior State Champions. State championship number 8 for the fellas from Florence. They won it in 1942, 1943, 2012, 2014, 2016, 2017, 2021, and now in 2023. Thank y'all so much for watching and listening to this game or any game that you watch or listen to this entire week. So much for watching and listening to this game or any game that you watch or listen to this entire weekend. Thank you so much for your wonderful support of these outstanding young players, these great coaches in South Carolina American Legion Baseball. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Could not do it without you fine folks who are in the ballpark, those that are listening and watching around the fruited plains. It takes fans, parents, family, loved ones like y'all to make this whole thing go around. The old saying, it takes a village. Our village is pretty big. We're very proud of that, and we thank you from the bottom of our heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm John Turner, voice of Fort Mill Post 43 Seniors. I want to say a special thank you to Mr. Legree Oswald and Mr. Michael Reeve Snyder for this opportunity. I'm very humbled and just tickled pink to have been just a small, tiny part of this great weekend. And boy, howdy, did we see some knockdown, drag-out wars these last 3 days. You saw some great games, some great proud programs had their season come to an end during these last 3 days, and really just outstanding job by everybody all the way around. Got to give a big up to Camden. They came in here with a bit between their teeth, had staved off elimination. Heck, Richland came in here, had survived 3 elimination games to make it to Florence. So just on and on. Inman Post 45 made an appearance. Sumter, the P15s, a perennial power. They were back again this year. And then you brought us to today, where Florence defeats Rock Hill by a final score of 8-1. Mr. Legree Oswald will now take the microphone, and he will do the presentation, and that will do it for us from here, from beautiful Cornell Field and Sparrow Stadium in Florence, South Carolina, home of the Francis Marion Patriots. Thank you for your support, and we will see you crazy kids down the road for more South Carolina American Legion baseball. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to keep the stream going. I will leave the microphone hot. Maybe you can pick up Mr. Oswald in the background. I certainly hope so. But thank you all for all that you do for these outstanding young men, these coaches. It means the world to all of us. Just an outstanding job by everybody and a heck of a weekend. Let's do it again next year. What do you say to that, folks? And until next year, so long, everybody.
We always award sportsmanship award to a player on Saturday's team who shows exemplary work ethic, has a great process with his teammates, and really does a good job of loving the game of baseball. For Rock Hill, Josh Jackson. Mr. Will Ford is presenting from our state committee. Our most valuable player award will be presented by last year's department commander, Mr. Jim Jarvis. That will go to Cohen Michelle. Great job, Colin. The Outstanding Pitcher Award goes to Aiden Palmer. Third base. Our second place state championship will go to Rock Hill's team, presented by Mr. Jim Raven, Coach Jeremy McCoy. One last reminder before we give out the senior trophy. Weather permitting, looks like we're going to be all right. We will have our first ever American Legion All-Star game here tonight, approximately 7:15. Florence has quite a number of All-Stars on that team, and so does Rock Hill. So some of you guys will come back and watch the game, but we're looking for a good crowd. Approximately 6:30, we will have our first ever announcement of the inductees into South Carolina American Legion Baseball Hall of Fame. One standing right here, Mr. Bill Brewer and Mr. Buck Schmidt. The Hall of Fame has been an extended effort, and we finally got it through. Where's Michael Reese now? Michael.
That's right. There you go.
Michael may be hiding from us, so he's been very busy here this week.
Michael Reesider.
But Michael is very instrumental in the All-Star game that will take place tonight. And again, that's the first ever also. Okay, now for the real deal. Your South Carolina American Legion baseball champions, Florence Post 1. Coach Eric Hart, come get your trophy. Come on, guys. The last thing I will say is, parents, thank you for leading your young men in the direction of American Legion baseball, and thanks for what you do for our great country. Thank you.
I want to thank all of you fans for being out here today, and I also want to thank the Rock Hill team. You did an excellent job today. Thank you very much. You showed a lot of sportsmanship, and congratulations to Florence. Thank you, and I know you're going to do good up at the regional, so make us proud.